day 10, not much to say.
Jesus Christ, what the heck is that? Oh, hi there. How are you doing, huh? Talk. Who sent you? Who you working for? All right, guys, we've only got 1 week left to claim your own burb, okay? Adopt a burb today. You're not gonna get this chance after another week. He's gonna be gone forever. He's gonna be cooked. He's gonna be steamed. So I was on YouTube the other day and I saw this video get recommended to me, and it's PewDiePie. And this man started drawing. Dude, what the flip? He's doing side quests now. Anyway, so in today's video, I wanna take a look at what he did, how he practiced, and maybe give you guys some helpful advice from an artist's perspective.
I don't draw. I haven't drawn since I was a kid. In fact, here's a self-portrait of me when I was 6 years old.
Oh, I love it. Oh.
And I know what you're thinking. Pretty good, right?
At 6 years old, this is a shameful display.
Here's another self-portrait I found that I drew when I was 8 years old. I have now evolved skin color into merging with the wall behind me. One of my last videos I did was I learned a new thing every day for 7 days. So I spent 1 day trying to learn one thing. And I thought, what if I do it for a longer time? What if I learn to draw? Then I can compare what I drew at the beginning and then compare with the end and be like, wow, I have no guarantees. This could be very embarrassing. I'm a sensitive artist. I want only good feedback. All right, so day 1, I drew a bunch of eyes, because I thought every day I'm gonna learn to draw a different body part. That was a bad idea.
Now, just by looking at these, I don't think PewDiePie used a reference here. Learning just one body part at a time and focusing on one at a time could work if you're using references and if you're also integrating that body part into wherever it's supposed to go. So for example, let's say you're drawing these beautiful eyes. Well, you gotta know where it's supposed to sit on the face, how it interacts with the other facial features around it, and what happens to it when you move your head.
Day 2, I just doodle, which, you know, is fun, but my goal with this was to get better, right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I drew a bunch of stuff from my favorite manga, Blan. You can kind of tell it's just a mess. I don't even know. Yeah. It's embarrassing to show these.
Some of these are actually really not that bad. Like, I can tell PewDiePie just doesn't really know the structure of the head right now, but I mean, the faces, they look pretty good for somebody who's literally on his 2nd day of drawing.
Day 3, yeah, still doing it. The goal of this was not to just draw a lot, but rather just draw a little bit every day.
Right. Day 2 and day 3, PewDiePie just doodled. Here's the thing about doodling. It's a lot of fun, but it's not gonna make your art better. If you're trying to get better at drawing something, you gotta do your studies. You gotta put a reference in front of you and try to copy that reference. Because that way you're actually learning new things about the subject that you're drawing, and you're not just pulling information out of your mind.
So here's kind of the crux of this video where I realized I could never draw a girl. Because I don't know about you guys, but I am in the girls are pretty, guys are ugly gang, okay? Whatever you prefer, that's fine, but I feel like if you draw a guy, it doesn't really matter. They can be ugly, whatever, but if you draw a girl and you want to make them pretty, it's hard.
It's hard.
You gotta be good at drawing to do that. So I thought that would be a good challenge to teach myself how to draw a girl. And here we have the result, and it's awful.
What? Why would you say such a thing about your art? Okay, look, collectively as art babies, if you're an art baby like PewDiePie, you gotta stop talking yourself down. These faces are fantastic. The face on the top right is fantastic. I really like the faded one on the far left as well. And the coffee stains are such a nice touch.
On YouTube, I recommend Chomang Drawing. That does a lot of tutorials, and I really like this style too, because they weren't anime style. It was just drawing girls. So I learned the basic of drawing the circle and the eyes and how to proportion it all. Day 6 is just in pain. I was so frustrated trying to understand this method of drawing a circle, and then I drew my first mites yet. It doesn't get better. Actually, sometimes I drew stuff and I'm like, oh, that one's not that bad actually.
Yeah.
But then the rest is just awful. So drew my 2nd merge. Is bad. I erased parts of it because I hated it that much. I really thought I would be better by day 8, but here we are, so yeah. It's more pain. Like, why can't I draw?
I feel like PewDiePie really knows how to draw a face, but I think what trips him up is when the face is turned in like a 3/4 view. And that's really where a lot of art fundamentals come in, because then you gotta know perspective, you gotta understand the shape of the cranium of the skull. It gets very complex. It's annoying. I'm still learning it too.
Day 9, I guess I felt like I did a little better. That one's kind of fun. I'm not following any reference or anything. I'm just drawing based on what I learned. So sometimes they turn out 1 maybe out of 10. Day 10, not much to say.
Jesus Christ, not much to say. What is that? What the heck is that? Okay, so day 9, day 10, he went back to not looking at references, not studying the work of any artist, and just drawing based on what he knows. And that's probably hindering his progress a little bit.
Day 11, I felt like, okay, I should probably know how to draw a body.
Okay.
Right? I practiced that a lot. It looks like I did a lot, but
These are
I drew
good.
it so quickly that, I don't know.
Ooh.
Just a lot of bodies. Started adding heads to them. And it was extremely hard to get the proportions of the head and the body right, as you can see here on the right. That's not it. Just kept drawing bodies, but I just hated them. So I switched to learning how to draw feet.
For free? Oh my god. Stop it. Stop it. Low key, some of these hands look pretty good. Like, that's better than 90% of AI hands that I've seen.
Day 19. I was panicking at this point because I knew I only had, 10 more days?
Yeah.
And I hated these. Maybe you guys would be like, no, they're not that bad.
Yeah.
Because that's what Marcia would always say, which was really encouraging, but I hated them.
So I know a lot of us as artists, we have this inner dialogue. We're always battling with ourselves. We're always like, oh, this one's so bad. I hate this. I hate that. I'm not exempt from that either. It happens to me all the time, dude. Like, sometimes I would make something and I'd be like, God, you stupid.
I think here on the left, these are not that bad.
Okay.
I like these. What happened? Why can't I do it every time? Why is it so hard to draw? Why did no one tell me? Day 24, I, for a change of pace, decided to draw some anime characters. You can see Power on the left. I followed a tutorial online as well. This really helped a lot. I think drawing anime style was just easier somehow, and following a reference was also way easier. They're not good by any means, but I was finally, I just felt like it clicked.
Yes.
I could draw these super quick, and it was fun. I was just sketching random stuff, drew one quick one,
yes.
to the next. Same with day 25. I was like, oh, these are even better. I'm kind of improving now.
I love
I
it.
do these all really quickly too, and messing around with different facial expressions. Same with day 26. I feel like every day you can see improvement. Day 27, I randomly picked up this manga to study Japanese, but I really like the character. It's called Kindergarten Wars. It was really fun to draw this character. I really enjoyed it, just like goofy style.
So I think what changed here could be a great example for all of us. From day 24 onwards, see, instead of just running straight into a wall and trying to force yourself to learn, he found something that he's a little bit more interested in. I mean, from my perspective, I can clearly tell that this new anime manga style that he's doing here is something that he's a lot more passionate about. And this is a very important part. So one of the fastest ways that you can improve in art is by drawing frequently and drawing often and being fully into it. And you can only be fully into it if you really do appreciate the subjects that you're drawing. I think this is such a great example of just finding the thing that you're more passionate about and trying to draw that. And PewDiePie is passionate about anime girls, and so am I, but...
Day 28! I couldn't believe it. I felt like I could finally draw.
What?
I'm not saying these are great, but they're so much better than they used to be all of a sudden.
That's a huge difference from his drawings on the very first day. That is incredible. Another thing that he's doing that I really love is that he's working with a pencil in a sketchbook. Very simple. And he's also doing lots and lots of repetition, and I can definitely see that working for him. So with the repetition and the reference, now he's adding more information into his mental library.
I feel like it's a bit cringe for a 34-year-old man to draw anime, but at least I felt like I was improving, and
Stop it.
I feel like they're quite good. I don't want to sound like arrogant, but I looked at these and I was like, I couldn't believe I drew them. I drew these day 29, improving still, and I drew Marching, and I love it. It's so cute. And that one's cute too. What happened? I don't like all of these, but some of them are kind of cool. Drew them just from my head as well, so I'm happy about that.
Wow.
And guess
okay, you guys see what I mean? He drew some of these from his imagination, and I can guarantee you he would not have been able to do that if he didn't add all of that information into his mental library through the use of references.
Comparing these and these drawings with some of the first stuff I drew, you can at least say it's an improvement. I thought it was fun. After all the pain, and I can totally see myself keep doing it. Keep a sketchbook and draw with it. But if you enjoyed this video, let me know.
It genuinely makes me so happy to see PewDiePie as a new art baby actually enjoy the process. He wants to keep going with it too. That's just amazing to hear. I personally love that he showed his entire process and he made sure to make at least 10 minutes a day to draw a little bit, despite the fact that he's a new dad and he's probably so busy. And I think in this case, the results really speak for itself. It's crazy just how much repetition and consistency can do for your art improvement. I definitely definitely feel very inspired after seeing PewDiePie's process, and if you're feeling the same and you want to try this challenge out for yourself, I want to give you guys some quick tips and practice methods that you can use during your own 30-day art challenge to improve your work dramatically. So number one, I feel like what he did in his sketchbook is absolutely fantastic. Working in a sketchbook is something that's irreplaceable. The amount of tactile feeling that you get and the control that you have, and on top of that, it really simplifies things for you. You're working in grayscale, you're paying attention to your lines and your shapes. So if you were to do this challenge as well, definitely try to use the sketchbook. Now personally, one of my favorite practice methods is to find a bunch of references. It could be anything that you want to draw. It could be random reference photos that you find on Pinterest, or it could be art from an artist that you really admire. I mean, it could be anime style, it could be Western animation style, or it just could be realism, whatever tickles your pickle, whatever peels your banana. But every time you sit down to study, I want you to gather a bunch of these references and set some timers for yourself. So PewDiePie didn't need to do this because his sketches were obviously very, very quick, but I find that timers really help because they set a controlled amount of time in which you can work on a piece, and they really prevent you from overworking a piece. And that's especially going to be helpful if you find that you do have some sort of a perfectionist mindset, which I know a lot of artists do. Be sure to actively observe what's in front of you and try to absorb as much of that information as you can into your little brain. And again, you obviously got to be consistent with it. You can't just go off for 2 weeks without drawing and then come back and expect yourself to be better. But if you are able to follow these steps and focus on your studies and just draw what you are really passionate about, I can guarantee you that just like PewDiePie, after 30 days of drawing, you're going to see a huge amount of improvement in your work. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I'm personally very excited to see a huge, giant creator decide to become an art baby. Join us. Join the art babies. I really hope that his video can help inspire more people to decide to pick up drawing. I think it's an absolutely wonderful pursuit, and it never ends. There's an infinite amount of things that you can learn as an artist, and it's just fantastic. It's probably one of the most rewarding yet painful things that you could do in life. Anyways, I'm not really selling it. But if you guys want to see more art related content, get more art tips and advice, feel free to subscribe to my channel, join my Patreon for monthly art tutorials, and with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Well, organic.